Look at this. I'm standing up for the show today. Greetings to the bid and ask all over the world. Let's do this. So yesterday, Seth and I set up a new studio at home. With saying that, I worked on my mic yesterday. It sounded perfect to me, so let me know how this sounds to you, and we will go from there. If I need to crank it up a little bit, I will. If I need to crank it down a little bit, I will. But everything sounded perfect to me, and futures are soaring. So I talk about it all the time. I say when we have... here's the issue with the futures. When we have things that are going as far as, when we have days like Friday. Friday, I think we were down 279 points on the Dow or something like that. When going into the weekend, people are going to say, oh my God, the markets are tanking. What are we going to do? Well, this is when the big institutions go in and buy futures contracts. So that's what you're seeing today. From futures contracts, you have future comes in higher. That means you, well, maybe not you, but retail investors look at it and go, okay, well, now we can go and now we have positive sentiment, so we're going to go and buy stocks, and it just becomes this big snowball effect. So futures contracts really get the sentiment for the market being positive and rolling in. So this is what I say when I'm like, guys, the plunger protection team is going in and buying futures. That's exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's happening with and why you're seeing these futures up here. So they love to do this. They love to do this. And when I talk about market manipulation, that's what it is. It's not illegal. It's just scam. All right, let's get into some stories. What do I want to talk about first? Let's talk about very expensive gasoline first. Where were we? Where were we? Didn't I have gasoline up here? Oh, here we go. Winter weather. Oh, my bad. Good call, good call, good call. There you go. Music gone. Now I used to have my control panel on the left side of me. Now the control panel's on the right, so everything's switched on me. And now I'm just that's why I forgot to hit that background music thing, because I'm not used to it being everything's backwards in my world right now. Anyway, smash the like button for me. Winter weather could send oil to $100 a barrel per Bank of America analysts. The rally in crude, so I say this to you because I want you guys to go and look at, go start looking at some of these go start looking at some of these stocks. Guys, if we're gonna go into the winter and whatnot, and we're gonna start seeing stock prices of oil rallying or something like that, go grab some, go do some great swing trades on them, etc. The rally of crude futures has stalled since June, but it could resume and even hit $100 per barrel depending on how cold it gets. I don't know what the hell that means. we saw $75 a barrel in June. Now we're seeing around $70 a barrel. So take advantage of this, guys. Take advantage of this and go ahead and find some stocks like I wouldn't go and trade futures, but I would go in and trade BP, Chevron, Marathon, Shell. I mean, why not? Why not go and grab some of those and run them up a little bit? OPEC said it's increasing its production today. Well, there you go. And I guess depending on how cold it gets, sure, whatever. So somebody asked me about airlines, about United specifically, and is it going to get to a certain level? I don't know. They said, is it going to go back down to COVID levels? I honestly have no idea. Now, I can look at the whole industry as a whole and say it's in some deep trouble. If you're looking, I mean, we're looking at Asia, Europe, United States. We're looking at all these major continents where airlines are very prevalent, and they're all in trouble. So look at this. The industry outstanding debt has jumped 23% since 2020 to $340 billion, according to data compiled by Bloomberg. So far this year, the global air carriers have sold $63 billion of bonds and loans. Yikes. You know what was interesting to me about the airlines? So the governments basically are the ones that shut down the airlines when the pandemic happened. Okay. It was just very interesting to me that I was sold that they were going to get a ton of government stimulus. I thought so. I thought the same thing was going to happen with the cruise line industry. It didn't, which was very interesting. I thought because they were the ones that were saying basically you can't fly or sail that you're going to get a ton of money, but they didn't. So it's more evidence that the industry faces a bumpy road ahead with many border restrictions still in place and more as the Delta variant continues. I think you're gonna start seeing tougher quarantine rules, which obviously means less flights, less travel. I think this is going to send a reverberation through hospitality as well, if all of this comes to fruition. The U.S. saw hefty sales following Labor Day last week, chalked up to $76 billion of issuance in bonds. So, geez, oh man. All right. Let's see here. Somebody's asking about AT&T. So when it comes to AT&T, from a value perspective, AT&T needs to start buying back a lot of their shares. I really like what they did as far as diversifying their DirecTV cluster F and doing some kind of merger partnership. I don't know what the exact verbiage is with Viacom. So that was a great plan in my opinion. Now let's see how they do going forward. I think they need to start buying back shares and serving their shareholders because they've been screwing their shareholders out over the past 7 to 10 years with terrible acquisitions. How El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption could empty its U.S. reserve. So this is incredible. And you know what? This is what I thought of this morning. So the odds of this working for El Salvador, probably pretty low, that they're going to make Bitcoin their currency. And you know what all the Bitcoin people are going to say, or all the crypto people are going to say? Well, it was El Salvador. No one thought that it would work in El Salvador. El Salvador is an impoverished country. It couldn't have worked there. It has to work. It can work somewhere else, like the United States. Okay, they're just gonna chalk up every excuse that you can possibly think of because it's El Salvador. El Salvador's Bitcoin gamble could start a chain reaction that drains the nation's dollar reserves. So they own a bunch of, it was 155 coins or 185 coins. I have no idea. Anyways. To facilitate the conversion of Bitcoin to dollars, the Central Reserve Bank of El Salvador is stocked with $150 million, an adequate amount that will need to continually pop. So I guess they're going to give money to the Salvadorans, and they expect the majority of them to go and change their Bitcoin in for US dollars, and they're saying that that's going to deplete that $150 million. So this is incredible. This whole thing is just incredible. Let's see here. This person says that the president is playing YOLO at a state level. It's easy to spend and speculate on taxpayers' money. And here, this is what made me think of that thing that I said about they're just going to say, well, it was El Salvador. Of course, it's not going to work in El Salvador. Salvadorans are, it's an impoverished country and they can't absorb that kind of volatility. So, who knows? what's going to happen. I don't know. It was just a funny story. Every crypto story is funny to me. What's next? Apple. I'm excited for this tomorrow. All you guys know that I'm a Apple fanboy dork. The smartphone giant is expected to unveil its iPhone 13 tomorrow. The biggest improvements will be the camera, portrait mode. I have never used it before. This is the one I'm excited about. The talks of potential satellite capabilities. So if you don't have LTE, 4G, 2G, 5G, 17G, you will be able to make phone calls or send messages, SMS messages, depending on, you don't have to have service. So that's pretty awesome. Now, Apple's done this a lot of times. They'll give a device the capability, but they won't they won't allow it to happen with the software. So let's see if this thing just has capability and they say satellite transmission coming later this year. No chance I'm getting that thing. I'll stick with my iPhone 11. Augmented reality. This person is basically saying that we're going to see Apple glasses. We'll see. The Apple Watch. Bloomberg isn't anticipating any meaningful health upgrades, noting that body temperature scanner may not show up until next year's model. AirPods, which is the #1 selling headphone in the world. They're talking about doing a revamp. The spatial audio technology. I don't know. Some of you use Apple Music, some of you don't. But spatial audio is becoming a very big thing, and it actually sounds pretty cool in those in the AirPods. I don't have the over-ear AirPods. I have the other ones, the little buds. So, stock correction of 5 to 10% is likely by the end of the year, says Deutsche. An equity market correction of 5 to 10% by the end of the year was the majority prediction in September, in a September market sentiment survey by Deutsche Bank. Let's see here. Helped by vast amounts of stimulus from the central banks, stocks have surged from low keys that they reached in March 2020 when the COVID pandemic spooked markets and triggered a drop. Guys, if you haven't read the Dando Investor by Manesh Pabrai, I read a chapter this morning about it. It's about halfway through the book. And he talks about the major market corrections that we've seen in history and how the markets react to them. 1, 2, and like 6 months afterwards, or 1, 3, and 6. And it's always a quick rebound of major market events. I'm talking about market events like COVID. I'm not talking about like a depression or a recession. I'm talking about an actual market event. But it's incredible to see how quickly they rebound. Although I didn't think that, I thought the COVID one was more triggered by valuations and we were going to stay at that level. And you can see how smart I am. Around a third of respondents, 32%, cited strong economic growth not materializing or being short-lived as a central bank policy error as risks of market stability. Basically what they're saying is what they've done with quantitative easing and keeping interest rates at zero and printing the hell out of money. Yeah. I'm just reading comments here. Okay, this person makes a good point. Mo does not understand crypto, and I don't understand technical analysis. No one should invest in anything they don't understand. I'll give you that one. The September survey, so transitory inflation. People are saying that the sentiment of the idea of transitory inflation is trickling down, although it still remains a consensus that it is going to be transitory. All right, sounds good. Whatever you say. I really don't know at this point. It's time for the Fed to start tapering despite the soft jobs report. So if any of you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I just nonstop post, here's my Instagram, by the way. You'll see that I just post nonstop jobs that places are hiring. So I posted Starbucks, McDonald's, multiple McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. I posted a Burger King one this weekend. It literally said, now hiring, free iPhone. If anybody wants to tell me that this market is doing well, this jobs market is doing well, you're a moron. You literally do not get it, and you are a liar. That's exactly what you are. The expectation is that over time, the Fed will stop buying bonds. More specifically, the Fed will not sell these bonds, rather just stop buying and let their current inventory mature. Is that going to happen? I have no idea. We think the Fed might be overdue in initiating tapering. No kidding. And it's probably a good idea that the Fed start backing out of these markets, mostly because the Fed just they control the markets. Despite the week of August employment, the labor market is well on its way to a full recovery. Sounds good. Why don't you go ask all those businesses that can't hire anything and they're starting to hire 14-year-olds in Oregon? Why don't you tell me about that? Oh, there was one. Where was that part of the story? No. Okay, never mind. The size of the U.S. economy, as measured by nominal GDP, should rise to its pre-COVID level. Man, I guess the Fed response to the crisis is like unlike anything seen before. Continued stimulus, especially through bond purchases, has enormous liquidity growth. Guys, this is not good. The JOLTS number continues to make all-time highs. So that's the job openings and labor turnover. Record number of job openings combined with business surveys depicting that job openings are hard to fill suggests that the Fed has done all it can to support the labor market recovery. The Fed has done everything it can to it's all jobs that people don't want to work, though. Scott, let me tell you something. I'm deciding if I want to say this or not. I'll say it on my Instagram. You can go follow it on there. When the Fed finally steps back, can the U.S. because that was a big reason that I highlighted that sentence below. This person said it's jobs that no one wants those jobs. Okay, well, I don't understand the country's mentality anymore. That's I guess all I could say about that. When the Fed finally steps back, can the U.S. stock and bonds stand on their own two legs? The big question heading into the fall is whether the markets can stand on their own legs once the Fed starts pulling back its firing power that it has been using in quantitative easing and interest rate suppression. To narrow it down, we are suggesting that it's going to come on November 3rd. That's when they're going to start doing their tapering, and that's from their November meeting. And they expect the tapering process to be done by June of 2022, followed by a 75 basis point increase by the end of 2023. So if that's the definition of fast, then that's fast. All right, let's do some other stuff right now. Let's see what the yields are doing. The yields are pretty much stable, which is not too surprising. Oracle reports today after the bell, so if you guys are in Oracle, keep a watch on that because I know some of that. Let's see here. Entry-level wages are like $15. I'm going to start rolling through the comments here. If you're saying that... Trader Mo is unemployed. Yes, I am. I sold my business because the labor market sucks. Wow, that's incredible. The hospitals need more worker and short-staffed. I was at the Cleveland Clinic. I said that those had... okay, yeah. So we'll talk about it in the Bid and Ask Nation if you want my real opinions. Fuel Cell reports tomorrow. What the hell is going on? What else do we have? No. Okay, so that's that. Guys, if you want to join the software, which is great, I ran some stuff earlier today on it. So what we have here is, if you want to be in our Discord community, 5,500 people, and I think it might be more than that. I really don't know. It's $7 a month. If you want access to the software and the Discord, $27 a month gets you that. You get Stock Analyzer tool, which is incredible. Of course, the 8-pillar software, all the financial data you could ever want. Retirement calculator. I can't even remember what else is on there. It's great. If you want to join the Bid and Ask Nation, that's with me. $77 a month gets you that. We get chart reading, which I'm going to go into in a little bit. Private Discord chats. We talk options. We talk value. It's a great community of 800 to 900 people, and it's just fantastic. If you want to do a one-on-one trading session with me, $750, 1 hour Zoom call. I pretty much do 2 or 3 of those a week now, and the people that are in them are doing very well with them. They're just getting their issues hammered out, and they are on their way to doing very well. And everyone has said it's worth it. Everyone asked for a second one, which is funny. Real estate deal with Paul, $10,000 gets you that, 4 hours of his time, and you will. I think it will. Especially if you're doing a deal in this market, guys. This is a wild market. So if you want to follow us on Instagram @TraderMo_EM, @Paul Gabriel, and @Seth Kirchanen. And Seth is in the chat right now. Seth had us over yesterday for the Browns game, and of course the Browns Did not win, which was sad, but okay, let's see here. What are you guys talking about in the comments? So now I'm trying to get used to a new comment setup now. Okay, all right, let's do it. Give me some stocks. By the way, I think this is gonna be the last day that I'm using these charts right here. I did a conference call with Cash on Thursday, and I did one yesterday with him too. We're getting my trading view hammered out. But right now, here's my trading view. I just need to get this thing set up a little. I need to get more used to this so I can rip through this thing like it's nothing. So we will, I think maybe get my settings hammered out and we'll be good. So I think we will be moving over to TV sometime soon. So give me some stocks. I'll run through them. VLO, I like somebody's asking me Valero right off the rip because of what we were talking about. Guys, I'm telling you, if you want to look at, so this is a 50%er, but this thing can definitely get some run on it. Like you see the stochastic. The stochastic is starting to teeter up on you, which is great. So this thing will go on a run probably to 84 bucks or so, 85, whatever that is. It probably will not break out over there unless something just crazy happens, because you have your high here, you have your low, and you have this is kind of the, let me redraw this for you. Here's your high, here's your low, and here's kind of that 50% area, and you can see it's popped twice, but each time it pops, it comes up and then it comes right back down. So I wouldn't expect it to get above that resistance point of about $84, $85. That's just my opinion. You could take it to the bank. Let's see here. Quest, I'll do Quest. Uber, Posh. Can we do AbbVie? AbbVie's in the Employed Trader series. Okay, let's see. Uber. Okay, let's do Uber. You guys want Uber. Dun, dun, dun. Uber. So Uber's for sure a dog stock. And you're just being patient on this thing. And of course over here, I mean, even if you want to try to short this, it's going to be difficult because you're really hanging in, you're consolidating right here. So we got to break before it breaks down. And to break up, you got to break through the 25-day moving average. And you are really struggling with volume. I mean, even if you look over the last 3 months, your volume has been very variable, with the exception of a couple pops in there. I'm assuming that probably had to do with earnings or something. But Uber to me is just a dog stock. You just need to wait on that thing. Let's do Momo. I haven't done this Chinese one in a while. Are they still like $9? Oh, they're coming back down. So this is a great example of a stock where even though you're in the sweet spot, I always say I like to have the red line and the yellow line in the sweet spot. So this thing, you had a green day, that means you crossed into the sweet spot. Then the next day, you were also in the sweet spot, but there was no confirmation. And day 3, you're down here. So the trend could very well, this red line could very well fall back below. That's why I want 3 days and an engulfing candlestick that breaks out and has a really good trend up. That is exactly what we need. So you don't have that. So just be patient with this one. You guys, smash the like button, please. That would be wonderful. Citigroup, the banks. You know, if they're going to start running these, banks, the market up, the banks are going to lead it. So we're in a downtrend right now. See, this is what happened. This is like Momo we just looked at. It moved into the sweet spot and then it instantly pulled back. Tried to recover a little bit, pulled back, did not break out over where it turned into an uptrend, and now you're in a negative trend. So this is exactly what can happen with Momo. But right now, it's a short position. I would not be shorting banks. I'm telling you guys, unless you're doing it from a swing trading perspective, I would not short banks because they can switch these things on the drop of a hat. Alrighty, BP, I like that one. I like that you guys are starting to take a look at oil based on all of this craziness that we're seeing. So we're looking okay. Let me use a red one here. We just got to move into the sweet spot, guys. That's all we got to do. This thing's looking really good. It's just, and I love, the other thing I like about it, yes, we're below average volume, but look over the past 2 weeks. It's extremely consistent volume. Every single day is pretty much at the same level. So that's what I like to see out of BP. It is going to struggle to break above its 100-day moving average. If we just zoom out on the daily chart, the last time it was like comfortably, when was this? This was April and May. That was the last time it was above moving averages. Since since basically the end of May, it's just been nonstop stuck in all of its moving averages, which is not an ideal situation. All right, next. You know what I want to do? I want to look at the Buzz ETF. I just looked at my cup that said Portnoy, and I really want to look at where this thing is. Okay, so this Buzz ETF, for those of you that don't know, it is basically a conglomeration of 30 or 60 stocks, somewhere in that range, I thought. And it basically what it is they scan through Reddit, Twitter, stock twits, and they look for the most talked about stocks, and then they throw them into their ETF. So it's an ever-revolving ETF, and you can see it debuted in the beginning of May at 24 bucks, I think it was, and today it's at 26. So all of these hype stocks, you could see that it's just basically done pretty much nothing since May. I remember when that thing came out. Okay, let's see. Somebody made a donation. Quest Diagnostics, you got it, Mike. What is Quest? I know they have a weird ticker symbol. DGX, that's it. All right, so I really like where this thing is going. I mean, the trend is great. This looks almost like Apple. Almost looks exactly like Apple. Great looking stock. It's certainly a power stock. And if it can break out to all-time highs, like up here, that would be wonderful. But right now, Mike, if I was you, I would be taking profits on this thing. And the only reason I say that is because we got this massive pullback, and I assume that you were in it for this great run. So take some profits on that. And if it does break up and break out to a new all-time high, go for it. I think you'll do very well with this thing if it goes to a new high. Apple swing trade, good question. Let's see what we got with Apple. So Friday, so I've told a lot of people this. Don't overreact on Apple. Something came out about their what do you call it? App Store pricing. So it's just, this is all market reaction, guys. Just calm down. I mean, if you see average volume like this around 100 million, then all of a sudden you see 150 million, it's just market reaction. And this happened in the middle of the day. So, and you can already see that it closed the day down here, and we're already opening up the day over the 25-day moving average. So right now it's a downtrend. I personally would not be doing anything with this right now. I would wait and see what happens today, see what happens tomorrow, because tomorrow's another news-driven day. We can move up here tomorrow, who knows, with all the products they're coming out with. So just be careful with that one. Give it some time, and you will be all right with Apple. I think Apple's going to be fine. Okay, what do we have next? Let's do COG. I haven't looked at this one in a while. COG. Oh, this is looking great. Yeah, this is looking great from a long-term perspective. So now, what do I want with this? I want this yellow line to get into the sweet spot too. I want confirmation that we're going to move into the sweet spot with yellow, with the yellow line. I love the volume that we've seen. What was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days of green volume in a row. That's incredible. 10 days of buying volume in a row. You don't see that very often in this market anymore. So that is a great looking trade. Let's see. I have a feeling this might be a 50% stock. Not really, but we could just draw a line straight across here. So you're going to face a lot of resistance at about $20. There's no doubt about that. But man, this is a great looking swing trade. If you caught this swing trade, good for you. Good job. Next, Nike short. Let's see what Nike's doing. This one is on my watch list because it is breaking down. We're starting to get quite a bit of selling volume coming in here, and I know this gap is going to fill because this was a totally irrational gap up. So let's let this thing, be patient with this. Let it move down into the sweet spot. Everything's going to be all right there. You just got to be patient with Nike, but I promise you it'll work out. Even my kid wants an iPad with an Apple. Yeah, it's insane. Natural gas price. Sven, if you give me the ticker, I'll do it. Sofi. Let's see what Sofi is doing. What is Sofi? I don't remember. Oh, this is like brand new. Okay, so good question. I'm glad somebody brought this up. I typically don't like to trade these kind of stocks just because here's your 25-day moving average. This yellow line's your 50-day moving average. So this thing has not even been on the market for 100 days. To me, the chart tells a whole story, and I only have basically 2 chapters of the book, if not 1 chapter of the book. So yeah, is trading good free? It costs money. It's free, but you can upgrade to different kinds of different kinds of subscriptions if you want to pay for like real-time data, etc. This is not Corsair. What's Corsair? CRSR? Yeah, Corsair Gaming. Okay, let's see here. So, wow, they've gotten beaten down really badly. Whatever happened with this thing? So with Corsair, be patient with this. I mean, eventually this thing's going to move into the sweet spot. I think this is a value play. So institutions will move into this thing. I don't think this is, I can't remember what we thought of Corsair. I know they make like headphones. No, that's Turtle. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, let's just look at the chart. If you get this thing to turn up this way and run towards the 100-day moving average, go ahead and grab it. But you got to get your stochastic moving up. Otherwise, I would just be patient and grab this thing on the move up. Right, Best Buy, BBY. Can I do Altria Group? I'll do Altria Group. I like the Altria. All right, what do we got here? Best Buy. So Best Buy, see it gapped up, filled the gap down. 90% of gaps fill, guys. Now it's just really struggling to get above the 200-day moving average. So from a long-term perspective, I wouldn't touch this thing. Got to be patient. From a daily perspective, I just wait until this thing moves into the sweet spot and challenges that 200-day and 50-day moving average again. What was the stock that I just said I was going to do? Altria. The market is going to open in 10 seconds. So Altria is looking great. I mean, this is a great looking stock. If you want to just grab an engulfing candlestick when it breaks out to a new high over the past 6-7 sessions, please go ahead and do that. And from a daily perspective, swing trading perspective, go ahead and grab that thing. Same situation. This one you're gonna have to play a little bit tighter stops though, because you're in that overbought area. But down here, I think you can get a good run going. Maybe run this thing to $53, or it can break out to highs of what's this? 53? Yeah, 53. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all you'll squeeze out of that for now. So the market is open. Let's look at Lennar, and then I'll do one more, and I'm gonna roll. But I am, let's see here. Okay, so Lennar, here we go, guys. Lennar is gonna follow housing, obviously, because it is housing, because they build houses. And they're probably following wood prices. I bet if you notice, I bet this pullback right here had to do with wood pricing. So if you get an engulfing candlestick on this, which you're kind of starting to form right now, I don't love the wick at the top, but you're kind of starting to form it. I would be perfectly fine if you would throw a short position on this, but wait till 10 after, wait till 10:06 in the morning. And I think you can get a great run on this thing down to the 200-day moving average. This is a good looking stock, guys. So go ahead and keep a watch on that, but please pay attention to your bid and ask difference. It's 26 cents right now, and it's hovering around 20 cents. So be careful with that, as it can go in the other direction. Oh, Sven, you're asking about a futures? No, I can't do futures right now. Engulfing candlestick question. So should we enter while the engulfing candlestick is forming, or at the end of the day? Bogdan, go and watch my candlestick seminar that I made. We talked all about this. You are going to enter it as it's forming. So take a look at this, guys. Remember just 2 seconds ago, this thing was all the way down here, and the stock price is pulled all the way back. Look at that wick that formed. So this is why we wait until 10:06 in the morning. That's why the bid and ask difference is so important, because we are seeing it in real time. That I said just wait for an engulfing candlestick down, and we were starting to form it, and stock price pulled right back. So let everything settle down, especially with all that futures crap that they did overnight. Let all the futures settle down. All the orders are getting filled right now. So just be patient, and eventually 10:06, then you can go ahead and start making your decisions. But that is why it is so important to keep an eye on the bid and ask difference and the whatever you call it, the time frame. All right, Affirm. What's the ticker? This is my last one. Affirm Holdings, AFRM. I think I liked this one, to be honest with you, didn't I? Oh, geez. Okay. Hey, if you're in this, please take your profits off the table. This is insane. So you had a big gap up. I told you. I mean, you're gonna fill this gap. You're gonna fill this gap, guys. Come on. Please take your profits off the table if you're in this, because you should have taken profits at 128 the other day. I hope you take them now, because this thing is going to come all the way back down here. I'm sure this is nothing but A flagpole pattern, maybe with a little bit of a hiccup in the middle. Yeah, so it's going to come back down here. This is your flagpole pattern. You see the return is already happening. It's going to probably come down to just above $96. And if there's no support there, it'll drop back down to these moving averages, and it'll come back down to 72 bucks where that previous gap was. So take it to the bank. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. Affirm is a meet Kevin ticker. Well, I just predicted what's going to happen to that one. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, 23 and a half hours. See ya.
Thank you.